News Live and Gate City Bank present the Bison Football Show with head coach Chris Kleiman.
Welcome to the Rock was a famous movie line from actor Sean Connery. Well, this weekend the Bison players said welcome back to the Rock. The Dakota Marker is back in Fargo as the Bison won a four-quarter slugfest with South Dakota State, and the celebration was not a short one. It was a fun day. Here to talk about it, head coach Chris Kleiman. Congratulations to you and your staff, and what a big win. That was a great football game.
It really was. Two really good football teams went at it back and forth, a lot of momentum changes. We were able to make a couple more plays at the end. Credit South Dakota State, really good football team, but our guys, I thought, really played well in the fourth quarter when the chips were down. This
one's always a tough prep because the teams know each other so well, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. We've played each other so often. Everybody knows each other well. The players know the talent very well. So it just comes down to just a little bit of the adapt and adjust to some of the new things and executing.
Yeah, let's take a look at the first half. There's a lot to dissect here. Lots of plays. They won the toss. They love to take the ball when they win the toss to try to make a statement offensively, but you shut them down early here.
Yeah, really good job early on. They're trying to run some perimeter run, and good job stringing it out, and Jabril makes a play.
Their defense played hard in the first half. 3rd and 1, 3rd and short was tough in the first half.
Yeah, they did a really good job. We didn't sustain some blocks, and they were able to shut us down.
That was Rosaboom right there. Their second drive was a beauty, wasn't it?
Really was. Obviously, Christian's an excellent football player, and you give him this much time, he finds a crossing route over the middle for a big gain.
They were not good on 3rd down all day, but they were on this drive, and they were successful here again.
Yeah, this is where he's dangerous, kind of like Easton. These guys get out of the pocket, these running quarterbacks, and Christian's one of those guys that you're in trouble when they get on the edge.
Cade Johnson had been playing well coming in. On 3rd down and goal, they get a touchdown with him.
Yeah, I thought it was really good design of a play by those guys against man coverage. They ran a little pick route, which you can do when the ball's thrown behind the line of scrimmage. Good play by them.
Now, the Bison were good on 3rd down all day, but this was one of the few misses right here as a long ball attempt.
Yeah, we took a shot and good coverage, 50-50 ball that their guy does a good job. We just aren't in a rhythm quite yet offensively.
Here they come again on this drive.
Yeah, a lot of different misdirection, a lot of motions and things. We didn't tackle very well on that play, and they get a big play.
Although this is a huge play, takeaways are such big momentum turners, aren't they?
Boy, they really are, and a great job by Jalen Allison of kind of baiting him into the throw, making a big interception at a critical time. We couldn't go down 2 scores against these guys that early, and great job by the defense.
Now, the momentum change, I thought, really gave the offense some life, too, and they came out with a little bit of an edge on this next drive here.
Yeah, for us, it was just trying to get into a rhythm a little bit, and Easton goes to Shep on a big play here. I think that may have been a 3rd down that he goes up and gets.
Yep, now it's a 3rd and 21 here as we flip to the second quarter. This is an amazing play by Easton Stick here. 3rd and 21, he tucks it and makes everybody miss.
Yeah, that's just a great player making a play. They have many opportunities to get him tackled, and he just wasn't going to be denied. Good job blocking a little bit downfield, and he just makes a play on his own.
Coming in, did you think the tight end would have some opportunity in this game?
Yeah, we really did, especially in the red zone. We kind of ran this play the week before. We just had a little bit more extended depth. We get about a 20-yard touchdown. A great job by Ben Ellison, selling a run block and then getting behind the safeties.
Yeah, the kid from Hawley's playing well defensively now. Jabril Cox, we talked about him, hasn't played in this matchup a lot. He makes his presence known.
Yeah, big hit here in a cover 2 and gets us off the field there.
Robbie Grimsley on this play makes first contact go down, and that's big to do that as many times as possible.
Yeah, they did some good things with throwing the screen passes, trying to slow down our pass rush. Good tackle by Robbie.
This really was a physical game. You get Ben out here, and he just lowers the boom.
Yeah, he does. He runs through the guy and gets a big first down.
Missed a field goal on this drive, and so we keep going back and forth here, and they had problems with Greg Menard, didn't they?
Most teams do, and Greg just beats the tackle 2 plays in a row, and I'm sure Christian felt that one. That was a big hit, and then he beats the tackle inside, forces a quick throw, and we get out of the series. 2 great plays by Greg.
You know, Ty Brooks, he's such a change of pace. He scored down in Brookings last year, makes a nice play here as well.
Yeah, great block on the edge. I think that was either Brock or Malmstrom. Makes a great block, and then Ty gets a big run.
Big explosive play. Explosive plays in a matchup like this are so big.
Yeah, they're critical, and we designed this play. Great job by Coach Mess and the offensive staff of designing Shep into the boundary. We had a mismatch on a safety that is just not going to cover Shep for a big touchdown.
Boy, the running yards were not easy in the first half, but here's a big one here by Bruce.
Yeah, good job. We were able to get him on the edge and get upfield for a couple big plays.
You know, flipping the field is big because even when you have to punt, you set up the punter in the middle of the field, and boy, Wags really delivered.
Boy, Garrett was dynamite. Showed up big time in a big game, and you're right. Just getting a few first downs, gets the defense a rest, kind of flips the field, gets the time of possession on your side.
Because late in the half here, if they're starting at the 35-40, they get a play here, but the long field really makes it tough.
Yeah, it was a good throw and catch, but they're out of timeouts now, so we end up getting out of the first half.
Well, it was a great first half. 14-7 was the score at that point. You look at the total yards, very even. The matchup was even to this point. The one turnover was the difference in the first half as the Bison took a 14-7 lead. Jabril Cox is on the Gate City Bank hot seat. What a game he had. Jabril, what teammate do you relate the best to?
It'd have to be Aaron Mercadale.
Okay. Your favorite member of the Bison coaching staff?
It would have to be Coach Riley.
What sport did you try as a child that you failed at?
Baseball. I wish I was good at it, but I wasn't.
Okay. What is your favorite Halloween costume?
It has to be Superman. It's easy to put on, so you just put a cape on and a mask and you're Superman.
What did you get in the most trouble for with your parents?
Talking too much, messing with my siblings.
If you could be best friends with a celebrity, who would that be?
It'd probably be Rihanna.
Okay, I gotcha. What is the most expensive thing you would buy if you had unlimited money?
Probably be a Lambo.
Okay. Worst food you have ever tasted?
Eggs. I hate them.
What skill do you want to learn?
I want to be able to go into people's minds and know what they're thinking.
Strangest tradition in your family?
That one would have to be everybody eating on the floor when we have dinner.
Well, this was a game of adjustments. What'd you talk about at halftime?
Well, we just had to find ways to run the football, get off the field on third down, which we did a really good job of, and continue to try to win the field position battle. We knew it was going to be a four-quarter game, and you have to make plays in the fourth quarter.
Well, they took the ball to start the game, so the Bison got the ball to start the second half here, and it was an 11-play drive. It was going very well. Early on, a big play here, though. Great hustle by Tanner Volson.
Yeah, great job by Tanner falling on the ball here. We didn't get points out of the drive, and we ended up turning it over late, but we ended up taking 6 minutes off the clock, and it was actually a productive drive knowing that we could move the ball.
Yeah, you did take some time off, and the run started to happen here to the edges.
Yeah, absolutely. We were trying to get the perimeter run game going, mixed in some play action, good bounce out here by Lance, and that's one thing about Lance and Bruce and Ty. When they hit the edge, they can get the corner.
Takeaways, as we mentioned, can flip the momentum, and this was the one Bison turnover of the day here.
Yeah, I thought their defensive back made a great play on the football.
He did.
And he's a really good football player, and good players make plays.
And, you know, right after, it's funny, after turnovers, man, it flips that momentum. Here they come again with a couple of big plays.
Yeah, once again, they do a little misdirection, and good play by the running back. We just miss a gap there.
Back shoulder here for 18.
Really good throw and catch. Not bad coverage, just really good throw and catch.
You know, their kicker, he's good. Obviously got the famous name, Vinatieri. He booms. This is a 39, 40-yarder, and I mean, he boomed this thing.
He really did, but we held him to a field goal, which was really important there, kept the lead.
More yards on the edge coming up in the run game. I thought the run game really started to click a little bit here in the second half.
Yeah, it really did. Our problem was our field position to start with in the third quarter. We were inside our own 15 because of our own mistakes, and it's tough to drive the ball 90 yards.
You know, they got an explosive play here in the second half as well. A big play on this touchdown.
Yeah, they did a nice job. It's something they had shown in the first half and run it the opposite way. Then they motioned the guy in the backfield, make a really good play. We still should make the tackle and at least make them finish the drive. And instead, we miss a couple of tackles and they get a big play. And now we have some adversity.
Yeah, they're ahead now, 17-14. You need a drive. And boy, Easton was just outstanding on this drive.
It really was. And this was an answer that we had to have. The momentum had flipped, and you throw it to Shep, and another couple good plays. One to Dallas. We'd worked on that play all week long. We came out at the right time to get that play, and this was a big drive.
You know, so we flipped to the fourth quarter, and you're in the red zone here, so this was a big play call here, and Easton really made a nice run.
Yeah, we went back-to-back with the quarterback run, one to the right and then changed it up to the left. We just thought we had the extra gap there, and good blocking up front, a really good cutback run by Easton.
That's big to get back into the lead. You know, for the most part, Taryn Christian can really scramble, does here as well, but you really bottled him up well during the day.
Yeah, especially in the second half. After the first couple drives, I think getting some hits on him helped, obviously. But I thought our defense really did a great job in the fourth quarter of kind of bending and not breaking. And once again, that was a good throw and catch. And we did a nice job of holding them, and I think they missed a field goal on that last drive.
Yep, you get a stop on 3rd and 11 here, and this is just great open field work here.
Yeah, once again, they're trying to throw a screen play and isolate Dan, and Dan makes a great play on the running back and a big 3rd down play.
So they did miss a field goal. It was a long field goal, and right now 3rd down execution was becoming a big deal.
It really was. That was a 3rd and long. We threw a slip screen, and Bruce gets 10 when we needed about 10 and a half there, and we get a 1st down, and we're moving the chains, and we're doing a good job of at least holding the football right now.
Their D-line did play well. They got a sack there and forces a punt, which ended up turning out well again.
Yeah, great job by Wags, and a great job by Michael Tutsi. Surrounds a kid. He catches the ball inside of the 10, and Tut makes a big tackle. That was a huge momentum swing to have the field flip like that.
He really hustled down there. And now when you have him deep, the key is to keep him deep.
Yeah, great play by Robbie Grimsley, running through his gap and making a tackle for a loss.
Dan Marlette only had 5 tackles, but they were all huge tackles,
huge
it seemed
tackles.
like.
This is a 3rd and long play, and they tried to isolate Dan again, and Dan can fly. He can really run, and he's a sure tackler.
Now to close the game out, you have the lead. You just need a couple of 1st downs here and move the chains, and Easton did that.
Yeah, did a great job making that corner miss. That corner makes a tackle, and we have to punt, and Easton makes the corner miss, and we're able to run the clock out.
How about that? The guys run over and celebrate the rock. It meant something. You can tell it right there. The final score, it was a 4-quarter slugfest, 21-17. You look at the total yards, very, very even. I'll tell you what was not even, though, was 3rd downs, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that here in a little bit. That's your Nodak Insurance final stats page. Let's hear what the players had to say after the game.
That's a really good football team. It's always a battle playing those guys, no matter where it's at or the year. So it feels good to come away with a hard-fought win. And then most importantly, we're 1-0 in the Valley.
Yeah, this win, like any other win, is great, especially since I wasn't able to play last year. It means even more to me, especially to play with seniors like we have this year. And obviously I grabbed the rock and I handled it a little bit.
Guys did a really good job working through that. Offensive line did a good job creating lanes and things like that. And then when we called the design stuff, I thought we did a really good job getting people moved and playing fast. And this is the first step. And it's obviously a really good opponent, someone that's going to win a lot of football games down the road and in the conference. And so you got to win at home in the Valley. We're fortunate to do that, and we're ready to move on.
Absolutely, some big games ahead. Well, the Bison had a receiver step up big time in this year's Dakota Marker game. Darius Shepard is our Nodak Insurance player of the game. In a game where points were at a premium, Shepard's 41-yard touchdown reception was huge. Caught 4 other balls as well for a career-high 118 yards. He was targeted a lot, and as he said after the game, in a game like this, you had to take advantage of your opportunities.
Yeah, I think we just clicked today, and the coach did a great job all week game planning, and then we did a great job just preparing all week to take advantage of the situation we were in, and it executed and it worked out today.
You know, in a big game, you need your big players, and Shep really did deliver in some big moments.
Boy, he really did, and we went to him in some of those key moments, and he had some mismatches on a linebacker you saw on film and on a safety, and you're just not going to cover Darius in the slot with a linebacker or safety, and he made some big plays.
Let's talk about this punting. Garrett Wagner, I thought there was a stark difference between the 2 punters in this game, and if you look at the numbers, the inside the 20 number is huge. 3 for the Bison, 0 for the Jacks. Even the average 50-plussers were equal, but I thought the punting was a difference maker.
It really was, and Wags really put a ton of time into it this spring and this summer to be a great punter, and he's punting with a lot of confidence, and I'm excited for him as he continues on this season because he's a real weapon for us in the punting game.
Yeah, field position is so big in football games, there's no doubt about it. Let's break down this interception by Jalen Allison. It was such a huge play, a momentum changer. Look at this formation and just walk us through it a little bit.
Well, they lined up in an unbalanced set, and we'd seen the unbalanced set a few times and had played something to it in previous weeks, and we just Coach Entz does such a great job, and the defensive coaches of changing our looks up so much, and credit our defensive staff for just coming up with a different design and playing with more zone eyes here.
Let's roll the play now, and Jalen really is playing center field here, and the Terran just doesn't see him.
No, he doesn't. He thinks it's man coverage, and everybody's got zone eyes, and does a good job. Jalen does of reading the quarterback, but still, you have to finish the play, and he does a great job of making the interception.
That was a huge play. When you look back at the game, that was a monster play by Jalen Allison. Congratulations to him. I thought third down was huge. You know, you look at the end of the day, third down stats, they were big, but look at the second half. 5 for 9. 0 for 3. They did not convert a single third down in the second half.
Yeah, that was big because it allowed us to keep the football on offense, to sustain some drives, and then those fourth quarter, some of those critical third and shorts, third and longs, we were able to get off the field. And once we were able to get off the field and allowed our offense, I think that's what maybe that last drive, we held it for the last 4 minutes or so. We'd probably wore him down a little bit.
And the poise of Easton really plays out in those third down stats. He converted so many big third downs, didn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't panic on third down. He knows that he has the ability to make plays with his feet and with his arms, and he made a number of them with his feet, especially late in that game.
That was a big win, a lot of fun. The Bison get that rock back to Fargo. Well, there's a lot that goes on at a Bison football game, a lot of it behind the scenes. We'll talk about one aspect you may not think of a lot in just a little bit. Welcome back. A lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes during a Bison football game. One thing nobody gives much thought to is the chain gang. Digging into it, it is a very complex job by a bunch of guys who have been roaming the sidelines in Fargo for a long time. Alex Egan has this week's Olaf Anderson construction feature story.
The 8-man chain gang crew at Bison football games has a hard time forgetting when to move. And it's not from all the cues from the crowd. Gary Wool has been working the sidelines of Bison games for the past 44 years.
I've always said it was louder on Dakota Field, as far as I was concerned.
Gary got involved working the chains when he was working for a company in Fargo that used to staff them. Now, 44 years later, he's the one in charge of the group, and that group includes his son, Greg.
The atmosphere down there, you can't describe it until you've been there. It's intense, it's fun. The best seat in the house, hands down.
The group will meet with the referees before the game to get any last-minute instructions, including the most important one.
First thing is be safe, don't be a hero.
Each person on the chain gang has their job. Gary puts the orange mat down to indicate the first down.
I'm on the down box. Neil and Rick are on the chains, the actual 10-yard chains. Brett, he does the clip. Then there's another guy, Dave, he has to do the down and distance, keep track of the penalties, who they were on, who threw the flag. It's a pretty intricate sheet that he does. And on the other side of the field, there's Maury that does the auxiliary box, and Al does the pad on the other side.
And everyone is relying on them to be on point to keep the game flowing. With this group and their experience, they're a well-oiled machine.
Everybody knows what they're doing. Gosh, I don't know what the youngest guy on our crew is. 15 years, 10, 12, 15 years is the youngest, so everybody knows.
When we meet you with the officials, they say, you're game officials, so I think the hardest part is maintaining somewhat neutrality. I mean, when the Bison have we're Bison fans through and through. When there's a big play, you just want to let it out, and you just have to keep your cool, and you run up and down, and it's a lot of fun.
For the Bison Football Show, I'm Alex Egan.
You know, it really is one of the things you don't think about. And these guys have been doing it forever. A lot of veteran guys on that crew, and it's just one of those little things throughout the course of the game, isn't it?
Yeah, you got a big part of it, and he's right. I know they're all Bison fans, and it's probably hard for those guys when Shep has a big touchdown or Easton has a big run, especially when you're on the opponent's sideline, because when we're on the road, I see the same thing, and it's neat to see that story. What a bunch of great guys.
And you never hear of anything with the chain gang. They're always doing their job, and they're always on point, aren't they?
They really are. And on our sidelines, it's tough. You're dropping that thing quickly when the people are coming at you because there's not any room over there.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Well, in our Peterson Farm Seed future crop of Bison, we take a look at a young safety from St. Cloud, Minnesota, James Kaiser. Played at St. Cloud Tech. He was quite an athlete, obviously was a star football player, very good basketball player as well, and also had the strength to qualify for state track in the shot put. Even though St. Cloud has a Division II school, James says, see plenty of Bison gear around town now.
I think NDSU has found a spot in St. Cloud now a little bit. I mean, I go back to St. Cloud a little bit, and I see the kids wearing NDSU stuff, and little kids ask me about NDSU and how's it going. So, yeah, it's been fun that way.
Well, James has been in a game this year. I know you guys like him. Tell us a little bit about him.
He's a really good safety that will have a big impact on our program throughout the years, and he's one of those guys that's always on the cusp of potentially playing. We're fortunate right now we have Robbie and Tuts, so we don't need to play James, and so he's into that. Are we going to play more than 4 games or not? But Wayne Schluchter's probably the guy having all the Bison gear in St. Cloud. So, but we're really happy with James.
You know, he's a smart kid, too. You dive into him. He's a really good student. He's very good in the classroom, and I think that translates to football. I think he's really smart in the film room.
He really is, and he's a tremendous leader. He'll be one of the best leaders we'll ever have here. I can see it as a freshman already, leading that freshman class, the way he presents himself, the way he carries himself. I'm looking forward to working with him for the next 4 to 5 years.
And no question about it. Great to have him in the program. Well, coming up, Northern Iowa. Never an easy trip to Cedar Falls. We'll talk about it a little bit. Stay with us. Well, Coach, when you go to Cedar Falls, as we take a look at our Verizon look ahead here, it's Northern Iowa. It's never easy. Northern Iowa always plays the Bison tough, especially in Cedar Falls. You almost expect a 4-quarter slugfest here as well.
Yeah, it will be a really physical game. Both teams are really good in the trenches, offense, defensive line. We'll have to be really sharp this week, have to have a great week of preparation to give ourselves a chance to be successful. You go on the road in the Valley, it's really difficult to win.
They had a tough schedule to start. They were in Missoula, then they played the Hawkeyes, but they've rebounded with 2 wins. They're 2-2, so this is a big game for them too.
Yeah, it really is. They've probably righted themselves. They've had a couple of shutout wins, and they're playing well on offense, and so they have a couple extra days to prepare for us. They'll be fresh and ready to go, and we'll get our guys healed up and put together a plan and go and expect a 4-quarter football game.
And they have a veteran quarterback as well, Eli Dunn, so it's another matchup with a veteran quarterback who's been around the battles a lot.
Yeah, there's so many of them in our league, and he's another one that's played an awful lot of football, and when you have a quarterback that's been in those battles, they know how to handle themselves, and so we have to do a great job coming up with a great plan, and then we've got to be able to execute the plan.
All right, best of luck, Coach. The Bison are 4-0. It's a fun time. We'll have NBC North Dakota and ESPN Plus for TV for Northern Iowa and the Bison Radio Network as well. It's a huge game, first road game of the year. We'll recap it next week. Have a good one.